Hello, everybody, and welcome to Wine Library TV. I'm your substituting host, Mott. Link it up. Gary's not back yet from vacation, so he asked me to sit in for him one more day. But on this glorious Monday, after my Giants were victorious over the Dallas Cowboys, first I'd like to say congratulations to the Dallas Cowboys for a truly remarkable season. What am I talking about? You lost! I will now drink from the cup of victory.
All right, Ma, get out of there. I'm back, and I'm excited. Oh, the cup of victory. Good job, my man. That's right, the monster sticking in. He had to say something about the Giants game. And you know what? I flew back a day early because I felt like there was a lot of things I had to do. Then we got lucky, no storms, so let me do what I do. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Wine Library TV. I am your host, Gary Chuck, and my worst football nightmares are upon me. There is no Super Bowl that scares this man, a diehard bleeding green football Jets fan, more than a Giants and Patriots Super Bowl. I am absolutely petrified, worried, and completely concerned about this scenario. And so this upcoming Sunday, I will be watching in great despair because I think we might be on the verge of it. And you know, it's kind of tough because I really don't like Brett Favre either, at all, really. I think he's a little Roger Clemens-esque. I'm not saying anything. But anyway, so that's that. You know, it's great to be back. Thank you so much for all the well wishes. It was so weird to not have a week of the Thunder Show. I was shaking, so I was really taken aback by all the kind words. You know, one of the things that I get out of this Giants run is that my dear friend Gary Greenberg, who did pass away, was a huge, lifelong, 50-plus year Giant fan. And I've had the weird feeling that they were going to make this kind of special run. Even before the Tampa Bay game, I was at his house sitting Shiva, and I was talking to his son-in-law and his son. I said, I don't know, I feel a little something. And so, Mott, link it up. Here's my Twitter predictions. You will see that I picked the G-Men. It's right down below, my predictions on Twitter before the game started. Those were my predictions. Maybe I got the Colts wrong, and maybe I got the Seahawks wrong. I really thought the Seahawks were going to win. I was pounding my chest at 14-0. But anyway, football, that's it. That's all we'll talk about for now. I want to talk about another very exciting situation that's brewing in the Vayner Nation. Caleb Smith, a great maniac who I've met multiple times, who's a big fan of the show. He won a national skeleton contest. Mott, link it up. One of our own maniacs is going to the Olympics. Pretty darn cool. I'm excited about that. And also, before I start on these 4 wines from Nero di Avila wines, which I'm extremely excited about, from Sicily and Italy, and we're going to get into that in a second, I want to give a huge shout out to Gabrielle and all the teachers that are in China. She wanted that. You got it, Gabby. Thanks for supporting the show, and all the teachers in China that are supporting the show. And I'm really excited to be back in the hot seat doing the Thunder Hour because I am pumped, Mott. Mott, I am pumped to be doing this. Let's get right into it. Today's subject matter has been something that people have been asking for very heavily from me, which is Nero di Avila, a grape that, you know, really got famous with Corvo. It's a Sicilian grape indigenous to the region and very explosive New World type of grape, one that a lot of times people compare to Syrah, but in this old world part of Sicily in Italy. A wine that I think brings a lot of excitement and explosiveness and fruit and just really interesting wines. And that's why we got 4 today. I'm really super stoked about this. And let's get right into this. We are starting with a very small producer. Look at this. Morgante. Hold on 1 second. Do they have the wrong... Is that like the wrong UPC on this product? Yeah, that's the wrong line. Huh. Very interesting. The staff's going to get fired. We got to page somebody and tell them to... this is the Terra boniche Villa More Nero di Avila 2005. Small producer, $12 and a wine that I think brings a lot of pleasure to a lot of consumers because it is selling like crazy from the wine lib. So I'm excited about that. Remind me to tell the staff to fix those stickers or inventory will be off. Good thing we're doing it in a couple days. Anyway, the Nero di Avila grape brings a lot of excitement, a lot of fruit to this old part of the world. Sicilian, really great with obviously the classic foods. But what I think a lot of people adore about this wine is that Corvo is the one that really made the name with this grape, but Corvo was crap. And as Corvo sales have really tanked, there's this new breed of youngsters making a lot of interesting wines from this region. Wines that are really great with a variety of foods. I love them with veal and also Busco, and just there's a lot of opportunities to drink these wines with a lot of Italian fare that's heavier, that, a lot of times people order Chiantis or Sangioveses or Super Tuscans. I find that Nero finds that even keel, that perfect line, because of fruit and tradition, that goes really well with a lot of foods, and they're very well priced. $11.99, $10.99, $11.99. Then we have a special one that's $36. So, very well priced. Let's pour a little bit for all the homies that are not watching with us today, and let's give this wine a snippy snip. Aromatically challenged, and right off the bat, that's bothering me. I'm definitely not happy with the aromatics on this wine. The bouquet is kind of limited and really not bringing much to the table. I get a little bit of sense of spiciness, a little roasted pepper, but not much other than that. Let's give it a whirl. Great body, really nice silkiness, actually pretty nice on the mouthfeel. I do get some dark cherry, a little hint of strawberry, a little bit of black pepper, a wine that I would love to have with, let's say, a Parmesan cheese. Very bright, a little Shiraz-like. Throw a kangaroo into Italy, let it bounce around a little bit. That's what this tastes like a little bit. A little thin on the mid-palate, which is bothering me a little bit, but a very pretty cherry pop, kind of like those freeze-it pops. Cherry, when you let it melt down a little bit and suck it, the juices would come up the side while the ice was still in the middle. A nice wine, very solid, good entry-level Nero, one that I think a lot of people will enjoy. Very simplistic fun. It's like that one friend of yours that, maybe not the educationally scholar or outside-the-box thinker, but just good to have around, while watching a game. Just a good-hearted spirit, a good chap, a good sap, just a good old dude. And that's what this wine reminds me of. I'm going to score this wine 88 points. I like it for $12. I recommend it. It's a good entry level and a good expression of what Nero does. Nero's just like that, you kind of guy grape, So let's move on. I'm excited about this because this is one that a lot of people drink. The 2005 Legali Ali. Now this is 90% Nero and 10% Petacone, which is another grape you'll see. It's also 90% aged in Slovenian oak, which is a little bit of a different style. This is $11. I've been carrying this wine forever. I remember when it was 7 bones. So, it's been around the block. Good color, a lot darker than the last wine. Let's give it a little bit of a sniffy sniff. Now this comes across a little bit like cheap. Kind of smells to me like a $2 or $3 $2 chuck kind of wine for some reason. And what I'm getting at is that there's like cherry meets alcohol. Just like good old fashioned like cherry Kool-Aid meets alcohol. Now I'm wondering if you're drinking the Kool-Aid. Well, I'm not in this scenario. I'm not feeling this on the nose. It's a little bit thin. There's a little some chopped up sticks with a little bit of like forest floor coming through on the nose. Let's give it a whirl. Interesting. Very good on the mouthfeel. I'm really enjoying the weight and the heaviness of this wine. But it doesn't taste good, and that's a problem. It's actually kind of awkward, unbalanced. I'm getting dark chocolate flavors coming through, which is very good, and I like it. But it's mixed with an almost rotten strawberry jam, if that makes any sense. Little garbage aspect flavor coming through. If you've walked in the streets of New York during a hot summer and you pass a patch before the garbage guys have gotten there, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's a little bit uneven. The greenness is off. A lot of times I love the veggies, the celery, the bell peppers. In this scenario, it's just green. It feels like there's too many stems from the grapes in this wine. I'm going to give this wine a pass. I'm going to score it 77 points, and honestly, I'm not feeling it whatsoever. I think it's really quite simple and quite off-balanced and quite quietly should be taken off all your lists for wines to try because I'm not feeling it. Little quick note that I wanted to share with everybody as I'm rinsing along here. I'm now addicted with the Supreme Court. I just want everybody to know that. I read a great book, 9, and I'm all about it. I've been just Googling and going crazy, and Supreme Court is some serious stuff, man. I'm into that stuff now. Morgante, 2005 Nero Diavola, $12 US from Sicily, 13.5% alcohol, and let's see what's going on here. Good little producer. Here, let's give it a little bit of sniffy sniff. Talk about chocolate-covered cherries. I talk about them at times, and they're a subtle flavor component of the wines. But of all the wines that have ever graced the Thunder Show, I know it's a lightning bolt, but the Chargers, big shocking win. Of all the wines that have ever been on the Thunder Show, this wine tastes exactly like chocolate-covered cherries. Excuse me. And I mean exactly. To the point where if you were to tell me that this was chocolate-covered cherry juice, I would believe you. I have never experienced such an obvious flavor profile on a wine like of this nature. I mean, it is one-dimensionally chocolate-covered strawberries. But it's good. It's got really great weight. It knows what it is. You know how you always say, you know what, I like Tom because he knows exactly who he is. He is who he is. You know, I kind of am feeling about this wine the same way. This reminds me of that person, you know, that is very comfortable in their own skin. They are who they are, and that's it. Good people, you know, it is who it is. I am who I am. It is who it is. What is that? Anyway, this is exactly, it's almost like Dennis Green. They were exactly who we thought they were. That whole rant. This wine is exactly what it wants to be. It is a chocolate-covered, cherried bomb of fruit. Very balanced, though. Great mouthfeel. Great structure towards the tail end. Still tasting it as I'm yapping to you. A sign of a very good value. A wine that I think is bringing a lot of texture in your mouth, which I'm appreciative of. A little bit aromatically dysfunctional, which is a problem, but other than that, a real killer wine for $12. I'm gonna go 89 plus. I think the bouquet and the fact that it is kind of boring, that it is exactly that flavor profile, keep it away from being a 90-point wine, but I'm absolutely positively comfortable with you seeking out the Morgante Nero Diavola to get an experience of this grape at a very fair price point of $12 US, 12 worn by Broadway Joe Namath. Mott, you know, might as well bring him up today. Is that crazy for you? I mean, is that exactly what it tastes like?
Yes.
It's like crazy. And finally, the Tasca di Almerita, 2002, which was a tough vintage. Rosa Del Con, $36 US. It's 95% Nero. It is 5% Pericone, which is, again, the grape we also saw in the Legali Ali. This is a wine that has cult status in Sicily. Yes, you can, like, trade a case of this for, like, I'll trade you a case of this for your youngest, beautiful 18-year-old daughter. And the guy's like, fine. And you're like, hey, this is pretty good business. Anyway, you know, this is a wine that has big cult status. People really sought after. Again, I don't know if you're seeing it here, but it's pretty darn obvious. Tremendously awesome color. I mean, just gorgeous color. I mean, just so much more color than wines that you normally get at $36. You know, just beautiful, beautiful color. So, just a wine that I think possesses enormously beautiful color structure, which is always exciting. Now let's give this wine, say it with me, Maniacs, a sniffy sniff. By the way, I will be retiring Sniffy Sniff very shortly, so please look for that in the coming days. Sniffy Sniff. Now, this smells like a cult wine from California, believe it or not. And why do I say that? I get a lot of mint and a lot of oak in this wine. The oak monster has made an appearance on the Nero show. Yeah, there's some serious oak components going on in this wine, but some beautiful mint component as well, which I'm liking. Very dark cherry and a little bit of sour cream coming through on the nose. which I'm liking. I think that dairy component is a byproduct of the heavily oaked wine. Let's give it a whirl. Good nose, though. Actually almost has like a sardine component on the nose as well as I tail away, which is quite funky. Let's give it a whirl. I'm just playing with myself right now, 13.5. This actually tastes like a little bit more alcoholic version of this Morgante, which is very ironic. Again, very heavy on the chocolate-covered strawberries, and that's a real component you're going to see throughout Nero. If it's a flavor you enjoy, if you're munching down chocolate-covered cherries often, you need to seek out Nero Legali. They have some great components of that flavor. Very explosive and rich on the mouthfeel, very oaky as well, coming along with those flavors. You know, I'm kind of blah about this wine. It's a wine that is kind of just okay. I would say that people that are a fan of Heights Martha's Vineyard, let me take that one step back, of Heights Napa Cab should seek this wine out. It's got a unique minty eucalyptus kind of component. And with the heavy oak, that brings me towards almost a Cabernet-esque kind of feel. A controversial wine to me. I'm trying to really wrap my head around it. At one point, I think it's one-dimensional and kind of boring. On the flip side, it reminds me of so many $40 to $60 California wines, even though it's a Nero, that I'm kind of taken aback by that. It's got some Syrah characteristics. It's kind of like a little mix of an Italian Brunello, a Barossa Shiraz, and a Napa Valley Cabernet. So that can't be bad. On the flip side, I find it a little bit one-dimensional. Not too different than the Morgante. I'm going to score this wine 89 points as well. I'm going to keep off the plus just because. And other than that, I'm going to probably say this wine is a pass. I'm going to definitely recommend these two wines. I think these wines will last for 3 to 5 years in bottle. Really great with a variety of foods, and again, only costing you 12 bones. I'm going to pass on the other two wines. My question of the day is very simple. What is your plan this year? What is your planned wine vacation of 2008? And if you don't have one, you better come and visit the wine library, and I'll hang with you. Because you, with a little bit of me, we are changing the wine world, whether they like it or not.